Hello, Sea Wolves, and welcome back to the show. I hope you all had a great December, great holidays. I know there's a lot of Sea Wolves out there who have had beautiful Sea Wolf mugs and sweaters, from Santa. So I hope you're all really enjoying those. It's great also during the holidays to see several Sea Wolves here in Amsterdam. We had, of course, also the big fair Mertz here, very close to my house. So I met several wolves and people, from the scene, since everybody's here for that. So that was really cool. And well, before we do anything else, of course, we need to do very important a toast. So I hope you have your Sea Wolf mug ready. I hope you're still using it every day. I hear that from a lot of wolves, like, hey man, I use my mug every day. So me too, always drinking from the Sea Wolf mug. Here we go, wolves. I got some nice tea in here. 3, 2, 1. Cheers. And so reason for this rare video appearance is that there's something new happening right now. And I personally think it's really cool. Like, I've recently discovered something, you might say. And well, let me put it this way. If you could go back in time and actually kind of be there when the idea for something like the Vanderglow race, or back in the day the Camel Trophy or things like that, were first happening, and it was just kind of a band of crazy people doing something. Nobody was really interested in it, but they had this idea of, hey, this is cool, like an expeditionary race around the world or whatever. And now it's grown into something, and of course it's super cool. But if you could be there when it was just getting started, when it wasn't really yet something, but the potential was there, right? The cutting edge of technology, of people dreaming of something, it kind of would be cool, right? And I think that something like that is happening this week, because this week an expedition is launching, and I'm on that expedition myself, and it's a very different kind of thing, but it's again really actually on the cutting edge of technology, of kind of where we are socially. It ties into lots and lots of things that are going on around the world. But it is actually a very innovative and cool and very, just like the Van Globe, human thing to do. But it's kind of out there. It's kind of, an experiment that you kind of see it these days as an experiment that is like kind of the early people that were sailing around the world, and everybody was thinking, this is just nuts. Who wants to go solo sail around the world? It's very dangerous, it's crazy, whatever. So I'm not going to say too much because I prepared a whole video kind of presentation showing you. I just wanted to sort of introduce you to the concept. And I hope that I'm going to report on this expedition, more in a second here, for the next few months. And so this video is a bit of a trial balloon to see if you guys like it also, because I think it would be interesting actually to also do this through the Sea Wolf channel. You guys are explorers, you love technology. And this is actually very interesting, and there are many interesting conversations to be had around this. So try it out, enjoy. It's something quite different, but if you let yourself kind of get into it, it is super, super interesting. So with that said, enjoy this kind of sidestep into what I'm jokingly going to call a little period of being not sea wolves, but space wolves. So sit back, have your tea, and let me show you something. Now you may be wondering why we are looking at the stars, and I mean, wow, don't they look absolutely stunning? Now you may wonder where we are. Walk with me here for a second. We are right now on a digital recreation of the planet Mercury, and so the closest planet to the actual sun in the solar system. And believe it or not, that is a recreation of our actual sun to scale. And yeah, this entire thing, including all of the stars up there, is an actual recreation of the entire Milky Way galaxy. And right now we are in VR. We're inside my VR headset, to be exact. And I hope that this translates kind of to the screen, because the distance here of the view that we are seeing is absolutely just stunning. check this out. So we are looking here literally miles in the distance. And this has all been done using math and procedural generation to create an actual replica of the planet Mercury. And it's actually, it's the real size of the planet Mercury. And the interesting thing is that all the stars that you're seeing here, those are not just, some random white specks in a black background. Those are the actual simulated stars, accurately simulated, faithfully for the most part, of the actual Milky Way galaxy. And now the reason that I have brought you here today is that later this week, a very special, kind of once in a lifetime expedition is starting. It's called Distant Worlds, and basically this simulation that we're walking in right now has been created about 12 years or so ago by some mathematicians and programmers and game developers from Cambridge, who did a Kickstarter in order to recreate the universe digitally, or the Milky Way digitally. And once they succeeded, after a few years, they actually built this into a VR video game. And now, 10 years later, people have been, exploring all of those stars that you can see there. And 10 years later, hundreds of thousands of people later, they still haven't explored more than half of 1% of everything, because the Milky Way galaxy is, of course, just enormously big. And this weekend, for the third time ever, there's an expedition starting where several thousand people who, sort of navigate this universe, people like me, are going to make an epic, huge journey, kind of an expedition, through this recreated universe, exploring the stars. And in this video, I want to take you guys along and show you kind of what this is like, because if you don't know about this and what this simulation actually can do, I think many of you are going to be quite shocked how incredibly detailed and cool this is. So this is my ship that I've been working on for many months to get it ready for the expedition. It's called Guardian, as you can see up there. And it's several hundred meters long. It's absolutely huge. If you get a little closer, you get an even bigger sense of the scale. But for traveling the universe, you need a big ship. And I thought that since we're in the solar system today doing some things, it would be really cool to take you all for a little journey along here to the solar system. I thought maybe it would be fun to show you guys Venus and the Earth. So let's hop on board here, so you can see and get a glimpse of what this expedition is actually going to be like. So, welcome on board of Guardian. You can see that we have in full VR here just an epic view of the surroundings. The cockpit is huge. I can have several other people also in here in VR traveling with me. And we're, as I said, we're on Mercury right now, but we're going to go to do a little flyby of Venus here just to start. And maybe it's also fun to show you guys just for a second. So here you can see the solar system, Sol for short, and here you can see this little ball here, Alpha Centauri, which is the closest next star system next to us, several light years away, but it's the closest one in reality. And so look at this distance, so that's several years for light to travel. Now if we zoom out just a little bit, all those little red balls are stars. Now I can zoom out a little bit more and see how many stars there are in our little
bubble in our little neighborhood. But if I then really start to zoom out, we start to get a sense for the stupendous size of the actual realistic size of the Milky Way galaxy. See, you can see the spiral there. And so this expedition that is about to launch this week, one of the places where we're actually going to go is there, the Sagittarius A, the giant black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. So seeing that is going to be very interesting. Looks really, really cool. But you know, taking into account the distance between Alpha Centauri, as I just showed you, and this enormous distance. So if we go back in here, just step by step, you know, you can see some cool nebula like Bernard's Loop. This is actually where the expedition is going to start. So you're going to be seeing lots of really cool nebulas, like really up close, and they're very, very accurately simulated. But so look at all that distance, and then just this little bit here is the distance between the closest star to us and the solar system, just to kind of illustrate how insanely crazy the distances are. Now, to give you a little taste of what it's like to actually travel, you know, kind of sail through the actual solar system. Did I navigate? Yeah, so let's get off the ground here. So again, we're on Mercury now. Let's take a little look up here at the mountains. It's kind of cool to see. Ship over a little bit. We're already a kilometer high now. These mountains are about almost 2 kilometers probably. How cool is that? See some giant craters here. You can see Venus there already beyond the horizon, and so there's the sun. Let's get going. So one of the really cool things that we'll be doing a lot whenever we're, of course, taking off planets like this, something that you can do in VR, which, well, I've been doing it for quite some years now, but it really never gets old, is to actually take off from planets like this. Here we go. Say goodbye to Mercury. Awesome is that? Like, I cannot possibly describe in words in VR just how cool it is. You can really see the curvature there. We get further and further away. So there's the sun and our next destination, Venus, as we start to gain speed. So you can see there, we're going about 300, 400 kilometers a second now at simulated speed, but accurately simulated. And at that speed, it's still going to take us several days to get to Venus. So I'm going to give us a little tiny boost. Here we go.
Frame shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
And as you can see, that puts us a lot closer to Venus, a lot faster. There we go. So we were going a lot faster than the speed of light there. Now we're slowing down, which is always a bit tricky at these huge distances. And things like gravity are also simulated here, so when we get close to a planet you actually get pulled into the gravity of it. And there is beautiful Venus. So we get the nice actual view. Now I hope that this translates to the actual screen so you can see the beautiful detail of the gas clouds there. How cool is that? And so obviously it's a gas giant, so we can't really land on that. Would shred the ship to pieces, but amazing, huh? To just see it up close like that. So let's get around. Now I think we'll go for we'll skip Mars. We'll go for the moon, which should be on the other side of Venus right now. So we'll start to pick up a little bit more speed here. Should get a nice sunrise here on the other side, which is cool. Look at all those stars. So those are actual real stars. Oh, look at that. Up close with Venus. I've seen a lot of really beautiful sights. You can really see the beautiful texture. Oh, that is stunning. I really hope it translates to the screen. And we can see our next destination there, the moon. And we're a little bit caught in the gravity of Venus, so I'm going to give us a little boost. Say bye-bye.
Warning. Frame shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Just to get away again. So we're quickly picking up speed now, but even at this speed it would still take us, as you can see, many hours to get there. So I'm going to give us another little
Frame
boost.
shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Hello to the sun. So you can already see two beautiful diamonds. It's always cool to see that the stars are, you know, actually real. So whenever you really get close to things, then slowly they start to take on shape. And of course, with one being the moon, you can already guess what the other one is. And we're gonna make also a little flyby of Earth, of course. Always fun. So we're going twice the speed of light, slowing down very fast now. You can see there the Earth already coming. Go by there also, make a nice flyby of both. Hello Earth. But moon first. Gonna get close, but not too close, so we don't get caught in the gravity well. Look at that. Hello, moon. It's always good to see you. So cool. Okay, and as we make our way around, we should actually, I think, run right at the Earth from here. Yep, there it is. The band of the Milky Way, beautifully visible there. Just look at this. Okay. Next destination.
Warning.
Take a little
Freight
break
ship
here.
drive operating beyond safety limits.
Separate us from the moon. There we go. Keep in mind that we're traveling at huge speeds here. Say hello to our home. Seeing it like this, like, I really recommend everybody to do this at least once in your life in VR. Because, you know, how else are you ever gonna have a chance to see what this really looks like and experience sort of it at scale? You see Africa and Europe up there, and the ice caps. Just so nice. I think we'll go all around, and we can also see a bit the nightlife on the other side, which is always rather cool. You can see already the city lights. Of course, we got the great ocean there, so we're not going to be seeing that much, but you can see it a little bit. How cool is that, huh? That's the Earth. And I think actually for our final destination for this little show run, just kind of, you know, showing you all, you know, what this is like, I think actually we'll make a little visit to the sun.
Freight
Let's take a
ship
boost.
drive operating
Say goodbye to
beyond
the Earth.
safety limits.
But didn't overdo it. Oh, that's pretty good. Because actually when we get close to the sun,
Freight ship drive operating beyond safety
really
limits.
cool. As we get closer, the window here will tend to a little too fast. Estimating the speeds can be really tricky. We're still pretty close actually. But as we get closer, the window is going to adjust and you can really see some of the finer details of the star that is our sun, which is also really cool. Be a little bit careful with the heat, of course. You get a real sense of how gigantic it is. And every star is different, you know, the composition, the color, the shape. Some of them are 100 times the size of our sun. They just look incredible. What a view, huh? We can actually go quite a bit closer, which is also maybe kind of fun to show, because these ships actually run on solar hydrogen.
Fuel scooping.
So now the ship is actually recharging its, you know, pseudo energy source, as long as I don't overheat it. Just a very cool effect.
Fuel scooping complete. Warning, temperature critical.
Oh, things are getting hot in here, so we better skedaddle. You can see a little bit smoke here in the cockpit. No worries though. There we see the Earth and the Moon again. We get a nice view of the sun back. But so I hope that this has given you a little bit of a sense of what the Distant World Expeditions is going to kind of be about. It's just going to be basically 3 to 4 months of me and a giant group of other aficionados, let's say, having fun and really exploring this simulation and checking out just some of its most iconic and most beautiful places. It's going to be super educational, it's going to be super interesting, you're just going to see some amazing things. And I hope many of you will also maybe try this yourself, because it's just really a stunning sort of experience to try this out. And it's, I think, really one of perhaps the only ways, you know, there is to get an actual sense of the actual size of the Milky Way galaxy that we all are really living in, which is really something quite special. And it's, you know, after you've done this for a while, it's kind of like sailing at the sea. You get a sort of a sense for the size of big waves and the power that it all entails. And something similar happens when you kind of explore the galaxy this way. And so, yeah, I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. Maybe not every day, but, you know, I'll try to make regular updates on kind of what we're doing and how this is all going. Oh, that's cool. You can see another ship in the distance there. Gives a nice sense of skill also here with the sun. So I hope you enjoy. Please like the video. And if you have questions, put them in the comments below. If you want to know anything, I'll try to answer that. And see you in the next episode of Sea Wolves, or Space Wolves, let's call it temporarily, and the Distant Worlds Expedition. Thanks you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. For the final shot, actually, we'll step outside here. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Yes, because also here we can get kind of a nice idea for the size if I do this.